Cascade Hoops Talk, this is Billy D. Hey, today we have Tyler Ojanen. He's the head men's basketball coach, Ottawa Spirit, OUAZ, down there in Surprise, Arizona. They play in the GSAC. Great to get him back on the show. Sit down, relax, listen. The Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAIA basketball. One podcast at a time. Today we have Tyler Ojanen. He's the head men's basketball coach at OUAZ. They had a little bit of a down year last year. You know, that happens in basketball. Really tough and competitive environment this season, especially there in the GSAC. We'll talk to Coach about last year, lessons learned, what those lessons are that he's bringing into this season. I think you're really going to enjoy it. I appreciate Coach Ojanen give us some time. Let's just take a listen to Tyler Ojanen, head men's basketball coach, OUAZ. Cascade Hoops Talk, this is Billy D. Hey, I got Tyler Ojanen. He's the head men's basketball coach, Ottawa, OUAZ, the Spirit. Welcome, Coach. Did I say your last name okay?
You got it right, and I appreciate you texting me yesterday and asking me back on the show.
Yeah, we're thrilled to have you. You're going into your second season. I wanted to ask you, last year was a little bit of a tough year. Tough years are part of sports, part of basketball. But sometimes you can learn, sometimes you walk away with better lessons from a rough year than you do a very successful year. What lessons might have your program and you left with last season, things that you'll take with you this season?
Well, how much time you got? Because I might be able to give you a lot of them. And so,
well, that's good, yeah.
You said on the front end we got 25 minutes. Might just not get to any other questions. But number one, I just say one is if I could write a book right now, the title of the book would be called "I Thought I Trusted God Until I Became a Head Coach."
Oh.
And just your respect level for all your bosses that you worked for.
Yeah.
I had four bosses: Randy Bennett, Gus Argenal, Dave Wojcik, Shane Burkhardt. And man, when as you go through those meetings as an assistant and they're saying some things, you're kind of like side guessing them or whatever. And I just look back and go, man, they're all right, And so you just look back at so many of the lessons they delivered and you go, man, I'm sorry that I was an idiot,
Oh.
And so you learn that for sure quickly. That's one of the main lessons you learn is just those guys are right, and your respect for the guys that gone before you really increases immensely. And thankful for all of them being in my life, and they did for me. You grow an appreciation for them. No lesson, like you say, like the year. I mean, we were so close. We were so close. I would say, how are you guys doing? And we'd say we're so close, but we're so far.
Yeah.
We're up 7 with 2 minutes to go at Oklahoma City, and we lose, and we're up. That was our story. We'd be up 7. We're up 15 with 5 minutes to go, and we couldn't close. And I had to learn how to manage games better as a head coach. Our guys had to learn how to do those situations better, and we worked through that together. I'm so proud of our guys. Like, our guys stuck together. Our guys played hard. That was the consistent compliment I got was, no matter what, the guys played hard. And so I was thankful for them, and that was it. Pre-meeting, you talked about Arizona Christian, but we're up at third place with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And so you see those, and you just don't get a chance to check that play by play. Like, oh my gosh, these guys were right there. And so the next lesson you learn is you can be creative on offense, you can be creative on defense, but there's nothing you can do to be creative about rebounding. And there's no creativity for rebounding. It's just you got it or you don't. And that was a hard lesson for us to learn last year, because we'd be right there, and man, you'd get the first shot stop up 2 with 2 minutes to go, but couldn't get the defensive rebound.
Yeah.
And so you just that was kind of the deal. And so those would be my top 3. Is just I thought I trusted God, how to close games, and then rebounding. Those would be the top 3 lessons I can take away that I usually kind of reflect upon throughout the summer.
Oh, that's pretty good. Like, you know what you said about rebounding? I can tell you as a fan, if you're sitting there like that situation you talked about, and you get that stop, and then that ball bounds high, and usually it's some 6'5" guy just cutting through the lane.
Yep.
Grabs that ball, and boy, that's a backbreaker. And then a lot of times they'll kick it
Yep.
out. A guy will be wide open for a three,
Yep.
and then your back is broke. It's it's a story played out over and over and over. You know, you're going into your second season. The GSAC last season was a buzzsaw. This year, I'm not sure what word to give it. It is going to be a nuclear explosion. Every team in the conference is really loaded up. There's a lot of buzz around the country about Arizona Christian. I've talked to people who believe they have their best team ever. You know, the Masters is going to have a great team. I don't want to start naming. I'm going to mess up, but it's just going to be a real challenge. What do you see when you look around the GSAC and just talk about playing GSAC basketball?
Yeah, GSAC basketball is physical. I mean, number one word that comes to my mind is just physicality. And that was like, you go back to the rebounding, right? It's like you got to be really engaged each night on your habits to box out. I don't care who you're playing. I mean, Emory Riddle was a great rebounding team, right?
Yeah.
And so they're a good rebounding team. And so it's like you just mentioned Arizona Christian Masters, then you got Hope, and they just got these bodies they throw at you, and you're just like, whoa, you got to rebound. And so that would be it. The physicality night in and night out is legit. It's there every night. Two, there's a bunch of different styles of play, you know, and so you got to be versatile. You know, you got to be able to you got to have a lineup that can go rebound, but you also got to have a lineup maybe that has to go and defend smaller, you know.
Yeah.
And then I would just say good coaches and good players. Like it's a good league. You know, you go walk in there and there's really good players on each side. The starting fives are really good starting fives, and then next thing you know, it's like, can your 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be there? Because you're just bound to have someone be sick. You're bound to have someone maybe roll an ankle or something happen. And so you got to have some good depth there, right? And those guys got to stay ready, and they got to stay right.
And you know, all those teams you just mentioned, and then you know, Life Pacific, new coach over there, Evan Jenkins.
Yep.
He's putting together a competitive team. So I just don't think there'll be any nights off. I mean, there never is, but I think it's going to be even tougher than last year. You know, Coach, as I said, this is your second year with the Spirit. The school has a great reputation as being a very good place to work, to compete. How have they treated you there?
Yeah, the people are great. You know, the people make the place, right? This starts with our president, Dr. Tanner. And I mean, he's got a true heart for the people and for the students. You know, like right now, our administration has started a link program to meet and mentor freshmen, and so they ask coaches and certain people on campus to have your group and link them in and keep them connected and help them along the way. And that's been streamlined by Dr. Tyner. Every meeting I've gone to about our links, he's there, and he has a link group of himself. So your president of your school is meeting with 7 students once a month and having lunch with them because he's invested, because he cares, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's just passionate about it. And so that starts there, and then it trickles down to our athletic director, Kevin Steele, who's just, you know, he's just a stud, right? And you go to a Kevin Steele prayer meeting, it's nothing better. And so he's a good dude, and he just works hard. And then the rest of the coaches around you are there for you, working together. And then I think the vision is for the kids. I mean, you walk around and you're like, man, each one is really pulling some good rope to help each person along the way.
I've heard that all the athletic teams are really good. I'm trying to find the right word, but they're very supportive of each other. I know the men's volleyball team supports the basketball team strongly. But I think that's kind of isn't that a kind of part of the culture there?
Yeah, there is a culture of just interact with one another. And I think that with those link groups, you're even seeing that culture being enhanced even more, of trying to learn and meet other people outside your sport. You know, that is something that they do push, is like, it's so easy just to hang out with your teammates and your team, I guess your team, I'm trying to say, and you get lost in the mix. You don't just go out there and interact with the other people on campus. And I have a link group. Myself, and we meet in our locker room. And one of the link members, she's not an athlete, and it's like, it's just refreshing to be around someone that's not an athlete at times and see their perspective, because you just think at times you get so myopic and you think, oh, everything revolves around basketball season, right?
It doesn't?
So you just forget. No, yeah. My wife reminds me of that one often, so I get that reminder good.
Yeah, so one time, I don't remember who it was, I was going to have some surgery, and I said, well, I got to schedule this or that. And the doctor looked at me and said, life doesn't revolve around basketball. I said, obviously, you have a flawed view of life. I don't know what to tell you.
For sure.
Because mine does. As you get ready for this second season there, as you're out recruiting, you're building this team, what are you targeting? Tell us how you're building this team, how you're recruiting this season.
Yeah, our main mindset was, like I said, just to hopefully address some physicality issues, right? Of being able to rebound the ball, be able to defend the ball better. Like, so much of the games are physical. The refs let you play. I've talked to some refs this summer, and I had to get better about just how I interacted with them, and I asked for some advice, and one of the things they kept coming back was like how hard it is for them to ref NAIA basketball, because the games are the talent is very even, the bodies are very even, and so it's like, they could call a foul on almost every play and certain things, and so like them trying to find the balance of having a good flow but also keeping it fair, I think, is a very difficult challenge for them. And so it's a very physical brand of basketball, so we tried to attack that, right? And that was our main emphasis, being able to get bigger, stronger, and rebound the ball. And, we returned a good amount of guys, too, that were playmaking guards and stuff like that. So we really were focused more on, I guess, if you're going to use an old word, is just power forwards and centers,
Mm-hmm. You talked about the style of play. I think you see that in the playoffs, too. I think you're lucky that lucky, I don't know if that's the right word, but I think it benefits your conference that they allow the physical play, because when the playoff starts, as you know, it gets really, really physical. And I've seen where that really catches some teams off guard that come out of some conferences where they don't allow that. It's kind of uneven across the country how they call it. But I think it really benefits the conference to allow that physical play. But like you say, you have to go out, you have to gear up for it, man. I mean, you need the horses, right?
Yeah, you got to gear up for it. And honestly, you need some depth and practice to prepare you for it.
Oh, good point.
Like if you can't that was my number one thing when you go play, like, I don't know, I'll just think of a Baylor. We got to play Baylor in the Sweet 16 one time. And it was like, all right, well, they start a 7-footer and they got a 6'11" guy, and then you got your two out there, and then you sub your next to your 6'8" guy, and here comes their two more 7-footers. And it's like, well, shoot, they're used to going against 7-footers all the time. And it's hard for you to replicate those bodies in practice. And so they're just used to it. They're like, oh, this is nothing when you go to your second guy, if it's not going to be able to match up to it, And so that's one thing that I'm looking forward to with our group is just, we have more bodies, we're bigger, so then our practices can get better. And the only way to get better really is practicing, right? And so I'm looking forward to that.
I wanted to ask you more about the school. I'm trying to remember. I know the volleyball program is very successful. Isn't there a lot of programs that get into national? I know the football team was very good there.
Yeah, last year we just had our student athlete meeting last night. I know at least last year our tennis team qualified for nationals. Our football team qualified for the national tournament. Our golf team qualified for the national tournament. If I'm forgetting someone, I hope they forgive me. I know our women's beach volleyball team hung our first ever red banner for the school. They won the national championship. And so, like I said, Kevin Steele has set a pretty high standard of what he wants us to be about, but he wants us to pursue excellence with glorifying God, and that's where I have a lot of respect for him on that. He wants you to go win, but he doesn't want you to compromise your standards and your values. And so I think that's where OUAZ has been able to thrive, and that's been pretty cool to be around.
What is your support? I know you're still relatively new in that area. What's the support like from the general community? I know you get good student support there.
Yeah, if there was, I didn't feel it too much last year, and we're trying to grow that through camps.
It's
we're
hard.
Trying to grow that a little bit. Yeah, and so we're trying to do that, and and we'll keep working at it.
Well, if anybody around that general area, their Surprise area, anywhere Goodyear North up there, I mean, you need to get out and watch these guys. This GSAC basketball is really good basketball. You really get your money's worth. It's the best entertainment value in America. I just can't emphasize enough how much your family will enjoy it. It'd be really great to just pack that gym out, wouldn't it? And get those local fans there. Yeah.
For sure. January 4th, we play Arizona Christian. Our school's out. So if you're listening, we love you to come through. So,
well, Coach, how excited are you? I'm sure you want to get that first year taste out of your mouth and throw the ball up here in the second season, don't you?
Yeah, I'm excited. But I did not dislike last year. Last year was you can, as a coach, I can walk around and say I'm 10-18 because that was our record, or I'm going to say, what if we go 18-10 this year? I'm still the same guy. Yeah. And I grew as a coach, and the players grew, and the program grew, and our theme last year was reviving and restoring. And, there was a lot of reviving and restoring that had to happen. We talked about, like, there was guys overcoming injuries. We had a death in the program right before I got the job, and you're healing and you're doing things. And so there's just, transitions are hard, Coach Keeley was a stud. He still is a stud. And so transitions are hard no matter what. And so, you're overcoming things. And so I don't have a bad taste about last year. I'm so thankful for it. And we grew a lot. And and so I like our group right now. But even if we went 10-18, I would still love our group and like our guys and want to be there for them. And so that's what we stand for, and that's who we want to be. And that's what our program wants to be about.
Well, I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait for whatever it is, that third week in October. Everybody throws that ball
October
up.
27th. Yeah, October 27th for us. So
it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait to see the Spirit back in action this season, along with all the other schools in the country. But I think there's a lot of people anxious to see this season for the Spirit. I think last season was not typical. So a lot of people are expecting more, Coach. A lot of pressure on you.
We'll see. Yeah, come on, we'll see. Yeah. So.
I'm just teasing you, but a lot of people are anxious for this season to start, and the GSAC in particular, as we mentioned. But wish you a lot of luck when you get this thing kicked off.
No, I appreciate you having me on, and thanks for just hosting the show and supporting the program and supporting NAIA basketball, and we're just thankful for that.
Well, that's Coach. I really appreciate you being on. That's Coach Tyler Ojanen. He's the head men's basketball coach, Ottawa, Arizona. Ottawa, Arizona, OUAZ Spirit. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks a lot to Coach Tyler Ojanen and to OUAZ, the Spirit. Appreciate his time. That GSAC is going to be loaded. A lot of people are saying Arizona Christian's got their best team ever, I've heard. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.